Welcome, everybody. We have a stacked panel today. Welcome to the DSA RoundTable. It's going to be crazy today. Let me just name out who we have here on the panel today. So first and foremost, we have my partner in crime, the greatest, the impenetrable,
What the hell?
the immovable, the immortal Andrew, the real Detroit Lions fan. What up, though, Andrew?
Yo, what up, Real? How's it going?
What up? I'm trying to live up to MicroMike's master of introduction. That's what's going on here.
I mean, I'm impenetrable, bro. I don't know.
Can't be
We're not sorry
penetrated.
so hot.
Second man up, we have the master of field review himself, Luke G. What up, Luke G?
What up, though? Salute everybody, man. Hey, let's get ready to have some fun. Make sure y'all get those questions ready. If you have not already hit that subscriber button, then I don't know what you're waiting on. And make sure you hit that like button as well. Let's do this.
All right. I just want to say, last but not least, we got two amazing guests. We got Ghost Gunner and we got the Dern. What's up, Ghost Gunner?
I give you an A for effort. What's up? It's your boy Gunner.
What up, Dern?
A for effort.
Hold on, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, let's just get right into this. We got 8 people watching. So listen, CBS has reported that multiple teams have spoken with the Lions about potentially trading for Darius Slay. All right, so given these rumors, do you think now that Darius Slay will be traded? And if so, how much do you think we should be receiving for him? Luke G, let's start with you, bro.
Yeah, I thought he should have been traded last year. I thought that we missed a good opportunity to move on from Darius Slay in the beginning. And now that he's a year older and on the last year of his deal, I suspect that he will be traded, but we're not going to get anything better than a third. I would be surprised if we got a second for him. He's 29 years old, last year of his deal, looking for his next big contract. Who's finna take that on? I see a scenario where they pay him. It's going to be for a 1-year extension just to get him through this year, and then the next year he'll just be out of the league. Not out of the league, but out of Detroit. But I don't see a scenario where Detroit keeps him unless they're going to pay him the money that he wants, and I don't think Detroit should do it.
All right. Ghost Gunner. What do you think about these new rumors about Darius Slay possibly being traded out of Detroit? And what do you think we should get for him if we do trade him?
I mean, what I think we should get is a nice haul, but what we're realistically going to get is a second or a third. I've been wanting his ass out of here since, probably Patricia's first year, after he's been already disgruntled. Talking about, man, he just run the snow, man. We just run the snow.
All right, that's hot debate topics right there. That's hot debate topics, man. You wanted him out the first year Patricia was in. That's tough.
When he's starting to be disgruntled, yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Even though he keeps retweeting his numbers on Twitter, he keeps quote tweeting all these fans saying, "Pay the man, pay the man." Ooh. I mean, all I see him getting interceptions from is like Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, wow. All right. Starting off hot, Ghost Gunner.
I mean, he got the same amount of picks as a rookie.
Ouch! Don't do him, Ghost.
Oh, I'm doing. I don't know. Has he ever gotten an interception from Aaron Rodgers?
Don't do him, Ghost. Stop it! Stop it, Ghost.
Amani got one.
He's gunning them down one by one. Dern, what do you think? What do you think about these new trade rumors that have popped up according to CBS? So do you think the Lions will be traded based off those rumors? And what do you think Lions fans should expect to get from Darius Slay traded?
I do eventually think and expect him to be traded, if not now, by the trade deadline. To me, he just doesn't want to be here. He tweeted a lot of numbers out there, like I think I read like 16 to 17 million per year, which who in their right mind would even pay that for a corner? So I'm pretty sure he would take less money to be elsewhere.
Facts. That's hard facts. I think I think you're hitting the nail on the head with that part of it, because I think he's strategically trying to get the hell up out of here, and it makes a lot of sense for him, because if I'm not going to get the big contract I want, I should at least have a chance to win something somewhere where I can win. So I think you make a very good point, Darren, where it's really going to boil down to if he goes somewhere else, will he take less? And I think you're right. I think he will take less.
Absolutely. I honestly think that as well. I think that, yeah, that's another topic as well. Like, what do you guys think about the comments he's making on social media, replying to fans, all that stuff? Andrew, I'll get to you after this. But Luke, what do you think about him commenting on about to fans, about his stats, saying he wants more money, saying that whatever that the fans think is too much is not enough for him?
First of all, I think it's proof positive that these players and this organization go by what the fans want. And so when fans go onto these local radio shows and on Twitter and repeat stuff from these local radio shows and say crazy stuff, remember, you're the reason why players don't want to come here. And when they do, they're trying to get out. You making life miserable. It ain't no Disneyland or World here. Ain't no Cedar Point here. Unless they just an outdoorsy person that loves to go fishing, they really ain't got much popping here. So that's first. But two, what is he doing, like really responding to people? Why are you responding to these fans and their negativity? Like that's like us being on here on YouTube and we got to now sit here and just got to defend every single thing. Just go out there and do your thing. The haters going to hate. The people who love you going to love you. And just focus on. I wish he had stopped, and I wish the coaching staff and everybody else would tell him to stop too. Like, just chill out, let them do what they do. But because the moment somebody say, yeah, he deserves all the money he wants to tweet it, and then the minute somebody go and be like, he don't deserve that money, he want to try to clown him amongst other NFL people. So it's like, why? The fans are going to really feed into you now because it's like you're responding. So I just wish he had stopped. It's not needed. Be a professional, let fans be fans, and just ignore them.
I completely agree, man. Slay, we love you, man. We love you. You've been a loyal Lion since you were drafted, man. We want you to just like Calvin Johnson. It's just like the Calvin Johnson comments to me. It's like, just please stop. It's like, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country. You can do anything you want. You can say whatever you want, but we're fans. We're fans of you guys, fans of the team. Like, don't do that to us. Like, we didn't do anything to you wrong. We didn't wrong you guys, except for Gunner. Obviously, he wants Slay for sure.
He didn't even just the interception part. Just his injuries have been continuously piling on these last couple of years, and that's just going to keep driving his market value down.
That's a fact.
He's just a professional. I think he needs to act like it.
Absolutely.
Right. Like, why respond to everything that is he be on Twitter like responding so much, and I'm like, why don't you do like Michael Strahan did and try to get on a bunch of like TV interviews so you can start to worry about career afterwards? Because this whole responding to people on even Stephen A. Smith don't respond to everybody, and all he do is talk.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, the amount of shade Stafford gets, he doesn't make a Twitter account real quick and throw some shade at people.
Yeah. Right.
He's not calling out media people.
He does talk a little bit through his wife though. Like, let's not.
That's his wife.
No, that's his wife. That's his wife. Yeah, she ratted down for her husband. She's sick of it, like the fans who are sick of the bad media. She's sick of it, so she's like, listen, y'all keep talking about it. Let's make it be done, and we'll see how y'all live. It ain't like, again, what is there to do here? Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I don't know.
Listen, people going to quit whenever you don't have anything to do. And when you look at any other the markets, man, it's just a matter of saying to yourself, if I could go to another market, I would go. And I saw something today on YouTube from NBC Sports where they was talking about Stafford and saying that he should have pulled an Eli Manning and refused to go to Detroit. And it's hard for me to argue against it. It's hard for me to argue against it.
That's like, that's like players being entitled, though, in my opinion.
The Detroit area is not. Listen, I live near Chicago now. Look, am I going to go to Chicago this weekend? No, it's below freezing temperatures. All right. Regardless, of what's in Detroit versus what's in other areas. Look, it's cold. That's what the problem is. It's freezing, and nobody wants to be here when you could be in Miami or LA.
True.
I don't know if it's necessarily the things to do, but anyway, Andrew, the impenetrable. Listen,
I can already tell this is gonna stick.
The impenetrable.
First up,
all right, I wanted to ask you this, man. First of all, why don't you give out the roll call? Shout out everybody in the chat.
Yeah. We got Data Boy, Kyle Webb, Eric Smith, Yu-Gi-Oh! Rex, James Willis, my man, Funky Nuts. I still love that name.
There again.
Data Boy, ABN Jimmy 23, Abdul Terrell, Tactile Puma. We got Bruce, and we got Melvin Griffin and John Kapler and Kierik. Let's see.
All right.
And Hook
What
Cam.
up, though, guys? Look, we aren't as good as this. We're gonna try and be as good as Mike and Luke one day, but we're not there yet. Right?
Man, y'all doing good. Y'all doing good. Don't get it twisted. Y'all doing good, man. Trust me.
So I want to touch on this
Andrew,
actually. Hold on.
Please.
First off, I want to say I disagree on Slay talking to the fans and stuff, only because when you look at players like Sherman, you look at players like Norman, all these dudes that got big freaking mouths. What did they get? They got big freaking contracts because of their big mouths. So I get what he's doing. I personally don't like it, but I totally understand. That's right now is his perfect time to try and go get his big contract before, he's over the hill and everyone sees the big decline, So I get where he's coming from, make as much money before he retires. Cornerbacks don't last long in the league once they get up to 30. As far as how much value we can get, I would love if we could get a second round. I don't know necessarily how plausible that is, but there's a lot of teams that are willing to pay to have a quote unquote shutdown cornerback, or even an above average cornerback. But I mean, I personally, dude, I'm shipping him out. I don't want to see him have another season and then let's say he's injured, because that is going to take all of his value away. So I'd rather get at least something for him now than to completely be left with nothing.
I agree. In fact, I'll take it a step further. I think he's going to follow suit with Ziggy Ansah did. I don't think Ziggy Ansah was hurt nowhere near as much as he was before he left here. But guess what? If I'm telling you I don't want to be here, let me test free agency, and you franchise tag me, well, guess what? I magically can't feel my feet. And now my back hurts. And my hand, you just don't know it yet, but it's swelling in my hand. Well, it looks normal, Ziggy. I promise you, it's vibrating. You don't feel it. And I think the more that we look at it, he's going to come up with every excuse to be on the field just enough to get his money without having to really play. Because as soon as he get beat, it's a hamstring. And
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, he's going. I'm telling you, he's going to swear he's hurt. And so to me, you might as well move on from. I know it does not make sense to say win now mandate, but get rid of your cornerback. But at the end of the day, if you can get something for him, then Amani gets a chance to step up. You can still take another corner in the second round if you need to. So work that avenue. And plus, we still get free agency. I want Byron Jones.
Well, listen. You're getting ahead of us, man. You're getting ahead of us. All right.
Luke, my man.
I don't think Arizona will give 2 first rounders for Byron Jones.
I don't know. I like Byron Jones. I thought
we were talking about he was the best cornerback in the draft last year, but the problem is I think Peterson's on his way out of there.
Well, I'll take Peterson if he come cheap. Like a 5th round pick, I'd be like, here, take this 5th that we got for Diggs and bring in Peterson.
Love that.
But that's another story. My bad. Go ahead, fellas. My bad.
No. Actually, it feeds right into our next topic because, with this trade being almost inevitable, we're looking at a team that's been told by the owner they need to win right now. So Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, they're on the hot seat. And now they're talking about getting rid of one of their best defensive players. So the next question for you guys is, what do you think this has to do with the immediate success of the team and the long-term success? Do you think that this compromises the Lions and will not allow us to be competitive in 2020? Why don't we start out with you, the Dern?
So, in my opinion, pass rush can make the most mediocre corners so much better. So if we can fix that, I think we'll be just fine. Plus, I'm pretty sure that we're going to hard pursue Chris Harris. He played his best when he was under Unline. Long term, I think it would be better without him. I'm not a huge fan of paying corners that much money like he wants. So
okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. See, I don't know if Chris Harris is the answer that everybody's looking for, and I keep going back to the fact that his success is predicated off him being a slot cornerback, and we have that in Justin Coleman. So I'm worried that we're going to try and replace Darius Slay, who's 29 years old, with a 32 or 31-year-old Chris Harris, who's primarily a slot cornerback, and have him try and fill that outside cornerback role. So I don't know if I agree with you, Dern, but, you know, I mean, you have a legitimate argument to be made. So, Ghost Gunner, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think that trading Darius Slay will have an effect that will make us not be able to compete in 2020?
Specifically, I don't think he affects Patricia's job in general, but when it comes to winning, I think we already have his replacement in Amani. I think he's going to be one of the guys in this future taking over the number one spot, or at least being a starter, whether he's the number two or number one. But I did see someone say Byron Jones. If we can get him at a good price, that would definitely be a guy I would want them to go after.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That'd be good. That'd be
Him
good.
and Amani
Andrew
starting. Yes, right. Perfect.
All right, Amani and Byron Jones. Or yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Andrew, with this Slay trade being like pretty much imminent, how do you think it'll affect us, and do you think that it'll affect us being competitive in 2020?
Yo, first off, I want to say what up to everyone else that's joining in. I'm seeing a lot of comments, a lot of good comments. I like it. Keep it up. I personally don't think it's going to impact our team as much as people think, because Slay was injured for plays. He was injured for games. You know, like, he didn't have that big of an impact anyways. So let's say we ship him off and let's lowball it from what I wanted and say a third-round pick. In the third round, we've had a couple good players from Bob Quinn's era. So I'd rather take a rookie with a third round and use that cap space from Slay and go grab someone like an Anthony Harris for a safety position, so we have a veteran presence alongside Tracy Walker, or a Byron Jones. You know, like, I don't think that Slay's presence at this given point in his career is really impacting our team as much as he thinks it is. You know, yeah, he's had some great seasons. He's had some great games, but like, what it comes down to is how are you playing from start to finish for 16 games? And right now it doesn't look good. So what are we really losing from this past year?
We didn't have him against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So,
Luke,
Hey,
what say you, man? What say you? The Lions trading Darius Slay seems almost inevitable at this point. How do you think it will affect us in 2020? Do you think it'll stop us from being competitive?
no. I think that the NFL has always been a league that has shown that, yes, when you lose good players, your team do hurt. But it's also been a league that has shown that when you got good coaching and you lose good players, you can survive. And to me, the question becomes, if we need to keep Slay in order for the head coach to survive, then the head coach needs to go. And if we're going to move on from Slay and going to add somebody like a Chris Harris, they need to come in at a cheaper cost than what we were going to pay Slay. But if you get somebody like Byron Jones, and Byron Jones is willing to take that cheaper cost and have a longer deal, I think it makes more sense at that point. I don't think it's going to hurt the team, because we still have free agency. We still have young talent on this team that can play. And if you just add a veteran opposite of there who can play that man coverage that they want you to play so much, I think we'll just be perfectly fine. My problem with Slay is this. For all the things he do good, I just think his heart isn't in it no more. He doesn't want to be here no more. And I think that if he decides for whatever reason that he doesn't want to be here no more, move on. So even if, let's say, for example, if the only way he wants to be here is if he gets paid, he's still going to be responding to fans. he's still not going to be happy. But guess what? He's going to have that money, and the motivation is not going to be there because now the history said that the Lions have not been a winning organization. So if we don't win, it is what it is. But I personally think that the Lions would be better served to ship him on up out of there, get more assets, and move somebody else into that position. I mean, they was close at getting Chris Harris in a trade last year. I think now that he hits the free agent market, they'll definitely make a hard push for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Okay, so I mean, we're already bringing up free agents. Let's go back to you, Luke. Who do you think is the answer in free agency if we do trade Darius Slay?
And Byron Jones. I really believe Byron Jones can change our fortunes because Byron Jones doesn't have all like these interceptions. But God, do he knock the ball away from a lot of people. And he has the versatility to play safety and play corner. And he wouldn't cost as much. Now, if you wanted to go big ticket item, it's got to be Chris Jones. Because now you're talking about bringing in somebody who can take over a spot to where now you can put a Snacks Harrison out there on first and second down with Chris Jones, but then leave Chris Jones out there on third. I think that's why you see a lot of the production going down with Snacks is he's out there too long. So for me, my two major targets is Byron Jones and Chris. Byron. Well, it's kind of funny. Byron Jones and Chris Jones are the two people I will target.
Okay, yeah, no, that's definitely, I've been hearing about those guys quite a lot, being a Lions fan here. Do you agree, Ghost Gunner? Do you agree? Is Byron Jones the guy?
For the other corner position, yeah. In terms of free agency, though, I'd really want them to mainly target guards.
Interesting.
One reason we're losing games is our defense is on the field too long because we can't run the ball.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
Preach.
Definitely fair. That's definitely fair. Oh, preach. All right, Darren, is that what you agree? You wouldn't go with a cornerback in free agency?
Well, it all depends on how much we'd have to pay someone. I didn't say before that I would want to get Chris Harris. That's just what I think they will do because of the new defensive coordinator. If we had to get a corner, I'm pretty sure Patricia would probably go after someone that he knows, again, like usual, like a Logan Ryan or someone like that.
Okay, he better not go after no Logan Ryan.
Right. I just don't know what's probably going to happen. If I had to choose,
it would
probably be Darqueze Dennard. I think he's underrated and he was in a really bad situation.
Hey, MSU alum. Hey.
I feel you, but man, now the Hood Cam, shout out to the Hood Cam. If you have not subscribed to his channel, please do so. Me and him have already talked about this, that I think that Joe Tunney is a guy that they're going to look at for the guard position in both shapes.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm just saying, when he said Logan Thomas, my blood did something different. Like, what you mean, Logan Thomas? I mean, no, you can't know. Ryan Logan, you can't go get no Ryan Logan. Like, are you serious? I would be disgusted if they went and got Ryan Logan.
Andrew, is there anybody you're targeting in free agency? Anybody to replace Slay or anybody in general?
Bro, I have so many free agents I would love to freaking sign right now. Tony Jefferson. I think he's a phenomenal, underrated player from the Ravens. He would do well in our safety position. Byron Jones, by far, the dude is super quick. He's always in the right place, right time. Situations, like Luke said, he knocks the ball down, doesn't get his hands on the ball as much as I would like, but I'll take a pass breakup over, a completion any day.
Yeah.
I would never put him 100%. At safety. I'm sorry. I would never put him at safety. The dude gets torched in the safety role, but outside cornerback, he was ranked, I think it was like top 15 this past year, playing outside corner. So I would love to have him. He'd go cheap. Another guy that's not really getting talked about is Corey Littleton from the Rams. So with Corey Littleton, which I don't know how much people know about him, the dude plays linebacker. Phenomenal coverage linebacker. Not great against the run, but he is phenomenal at, covering the tight ends down the seam and all this stuff. And that is what I've been preaching. We need a coverage linebacker. None of our linebackers know how to guard and pass coverage, and we need something like that. So I would love that maybe in the middle or even on the outside. And then as far as a D-line dude, grabbing like a Leonard Williams who's shown potential to be a top 5 player at his position, and then also has crapped out. I think bringing him in could be a huge prove-it deal. You know, we could get him for cheap because he didn't have a great 2019. Or even like a Shaq Barrett. You know, these guys, they've shown so many flashes, but not enough to where you're going to pay just your entire cap space. You know, so we could get them for decent deals, and we could potentially have a 20-sack season like, you know, Shaq pretty much did this past season.
I mean, but that's not fair, though, Andrew, if you think about it. That's really not fair. And especially the Shaq Barrett one, because he was playing next to Ndamukong Suh. Everybody that played next to Ndamukong Suh numbers jump up. You take him away from Ndamukong Suh, you think he gonna still get those kind of sacks?
Oh, I mean, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, you know, we still have Deshaun Hand, we have Trey Flowers, you know.
Okay.
I like that, you know, but the thing is that I don't want to go out in free agency and just sign someone like let's just say Chris Jones. You know, the dude's gonna go for a crap ton of money. You know, he's had hell of a couple of years, and then let's say he gets hurt or he doesn't play well. I'd rather get, you know, 2 of these guys I talked about that have been consistent. They've shown a lot of flashes, but not at that caliber to where they're going to cost, you know, $90 million contract or something.
Okay. So
yeah,
you're about the collective group then. That's what you said. Spend that big money on a group versus a player.
Bro, I'm all about football being a team sport. I mean, that's what it is, you know, and we could have as many individual athletes as we want, but until we have a good team collectively, we're not going to be able to do anything. And I would love to grab a couple pieces on defense because we need a coverage linebacker and we need another presence on the D-line. So,
yeah, okay. I like those names that you shouted out. And, I mean, we have a lot of holes to fill, so I would love to get more than one of these guys that you just named. Yeah. But to me, so, you know, you guys brought up the pass defenses that Byron Jones has. And, you know, it just reminds me of one of the tweets that Darius Slay posted. He had the most passes defended since 2014, which is, you know, a great statistic to have on your resume. But when you're looking at it from Bob Quinn's perspective, from his shoes, you don't want to pay a player going forward for something they did way far in their past. You know, look at what he's done the past 2 years. He wasn't top of the league in that for the past 2 years. Those stats are being weighted heavily based on those amazing years he had from 2014 to 2017. And we're not going to take those away from Darius Slay, but we're not going to pay you for that going forward, especially when you're 29 years old, my man. So right. I think that So I think that Byron Jones is a perfect fit just because I think that he can play that Darius Slay type of game and he's younger.
I mean,
pretty much because he's younger.
I could have got to the Pro Bowl. My name is Darius Slay.
Hey.
Oh my God!
I love this joke. I love this comment right here. It says, it's from Humble Yourself. He says, wow, I can't believe there's an actual Detroit Lions fan podcast. This is unreal. Mind blown. Yes, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday. It switches between 3 channels, Luke G's Fair Review, MicroMike, and the real Detroit Lions fans channel. So you want to subscribe to all 3 of them to be a part of the conversation. And if you want, or you should so choose, and you want to be a part of the show, you simply hit me up on Twitter or join my Discord, and we'll talk, and I will get you on the show like we have with our 2 subscribers today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I hope that's not an insult saying like, wow, I can't believe Detroit Lions even have fans to make a podcast. But, you know.
even if it was, I took it as a positive because that's how I'm going to think.
Right. And, you know, just take that second, you know, hit that like button, subscribe so you can follow our content. You know, we like to have good discussions, and we love when you guys, you know, post your comments and your feedback.
If the actual team starts winning, then there'll be more people finding out about the podcast.
Yeah, that's 100% true, man. That's
absolutely.
True. We have 45 people listening. We only won 3 games this year. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's gonna get bigger, man. It's gonna get bigger because they listen. Let me just put this out there, people. I'm going to repeat this again. You're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to the members of the DSA. We got live draft shows coming. We got so much stuff coming that if you are about the Detroit Lions and been a Detroit Lions fan, you're going to get it here with the Detroit Sports Alliance, aka DSA. We got a roster of people who are passionate about Detroit sports, And if you are a new YouTuber, you're talking baseball about the Detroit Tigers, or you're talking about the Detroit Red Wings, and you want to join the DSA, please hit me or MicroMike up or any of the members so we can get in contact with you, man, so we can keep building this community. But the first thing you got to do is hit that subscribe button. And after you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because that's going to let you know when we going live. The third thing you got to do is hit those likes, because the more likes you put on it, the more that this video gets in circulation. So if you want to be a part of a community that is for us, by us, Detroit Lions fans and Detroit's fan base, period, Detroit Sports Alliance is where you want to be.
Yes, sir. And we only want real Detroit Lions fans up in here.
Tell them again.
We only want the real Detroit Lions fans up in here.
Yeah. Now, I actually agree with Kendrick. I do miss Glover Quinn. I'm telling you, he changed the whole game for us. And it's funny. Everybody asks what's wrong with Snacks Harris, and I said the safety play is just terrible. Once they moved in with Tavon Wilson, it got real. So.
Oh yeah, Chris Harris and Tavon, or not Chris Harris, Will Harris and Tavon Wilson in rotation.
Yep.
Everyone's gotta have to suppress that one from our memories.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys. There was some of you guys that said you didn't even want to take a cornerback in free agency, or you guys didn't even name a quarterback. So my question to you is this: again, if Darius Slay gets traded, which it seems like is inevitable at this point, now, are you guys willing to say that Okudah is the pick for the Lions?
No.
Let's start with you.
Bro. I will kill myself.
Guys, whoa. Luke, we've already heard from you about this. Andrew, we've already heard from you about this. Gunner, go ahead, man.
No. That's not a knock on this game. I think Okudah's going to be could be a really damn good corner. But there's more problems on this defense than just one corner.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Darren, what do you think, man?
It all depends on free agency, first and foremost. I think we need pass rush more, but it all depends on the best player available at our spot. Plus, I really believe that we're going to trade back. I don't think we're going to get Chase Young. I heard Luke G mentioned this one time, that if we traded back with the Colts and got like Quentin Nelson, that's a dream scenario right there. And then you can get someone like Kinlaw. That's nuts.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to push back on you guys, because you guys are, giving these political answers. You're like, oh, it depends who we get in free agency. You guys didn't want a cornerback in free agency. So who's the ideal person to fill Darius Slay's spot to you guys? Go ahead, Darren.
It's hard to say. They keep bringing up Byron Jones. I think he'd be a pretty good fit. Like I said before, I think Darqueze Dennard would be pretty good in our system.
Okay, all right.
Who does he play for?
He played for Cincy before.
Oh, that's probably why I never heard of him. Though.
Right.
I should really
Yeah. If you're a Michigan State fan, he was a first-round pick out of MSU, or at least he was talked about being a first-round pick. Maybe he went early second round, but the Lions were trying to get him and Justin Gilbert when they were coming out of college. I'm glad they took neither, because they both ended up not performing up to standard. But Gunner, who's your number one cornerback to fill Darius Slay's spot if he is traded?
Byron Jones or Armani.
Okay. All right. Quick and to the point. All right.
Spot.
Got you. Okay. Luke.
This is the guy who's bought his jersey. That's bought his jersey. And I'm saying
that's probably why you're so mad now. You're so mad because you
burning dog.
Like, I wasted $100 on this fool.
Yeah, there's actually one of them that was not the cheap one.
All right, Luke. Who's your so now with Darius Slay, inevitably being traded, is Byron Jones your guy, or are you saying Okudah is the guy at number 3?
Okudah can't be the guy at number 3. I don't know why people don't get this. It's okay. There's okay. I'm trying to ease into it without being rude. There's a learning curve for cornerbacks. Darius Slay took a few years before he got it figured out. Okudah could come in and have some success his first season. He really could. Then the second year he can struggle. My problem with this is this. If you're taking a cornerback 3rd overall, he better be a no-fly zone. He better be the next Darrelle Revis. Because third overall, when you need linebackers, you need guards, you need safety. It's like, come on. And yes, I've said it many times that our biggest need is defensive back, but there's nobody better at doing that right now than Isaiah Simmons. He gives you the most versatility. Now, let's say Isaiah Simmons is not the person. I'm gonna go out on the limb and just say, forget it. I know I can get a good quality cornerback in the second round that's going to be there, and he's a ball hawk. I know I can do that. Y'all gotta wait for the film study, so make sure you subscribe to Luke G's film review for that player. But I know he can get it done. And to me, taking Okudah would be an overreaction in my opinion. It's not needed. It's not needed this way. And even the Hood Cam agrees. Corners in the first round are risky. They are very risky because what you don't realize is this. They're coming into it playing a vanilla style of defense out of college. They get to the pros. Like, first of all, just look at some of the routes Antonio Brown ran. You can't even write this on paper. Like, you can't. What is this route called? Burnham? I mean, what is it called? And now you're going to put a rookie cornerback and tell him to stop it. It's just not going to happen. It's not. So I would be very hesitant to take a person like that. Get a veteran who's used to seeing this stuff, because if you come in with a rookie, third overall, that's like you having a chance to have like Charlize Theron and you end up picking like Beetlejuice. It was like, for what? What's the point? Yeah, sure, Beetlejuice was easier, but God, you missed out on a good opportunity. So I'm just saying.
Right. You never pick a cornerback at number 3. Never. No, it's not saying never. It's saying that they have to be something. They have to be something that is coming in with immediate impact.
Bro, my dude has to have like 30 interceptions in 5 games for me to take a cornerback number 3.
I don't even need 30 interceptions. I just need you to basically scare a quarterback. Like when Darrelle Revis became Revis Island, you saw people just stand away from his side of the field. If you could come in and have that instant impact, I'm all for it. I don't think Okudah's the guy to have that instant impact.
Yeah. Those kind of guys are so rare. You never know if you're going to hit on those type of guys. And usually those elite cornerbacks like a Darius Slay are picked in the later rounds. That's why I say you never risk a third overall pick on a position like that. You never take a cornerback third overall when you can get on a high percentage success rate position like a defensive lineman. It's just like the same argument. You don't take a tight end at number 8. So Andrew, listen.
Transition.
I see what he was doing.
Right? He's like, all right, Andrew, back to you.
I hope Bob Quinn takes the tight end third overall just to spite you.
That would be some lion shit to do.
Up to get a tight end number 1.
Now listen, the hood camp makes a very good point, because see, the first thing he targeted was just look at the division. He says Okudah would get torched by Devontae Adams in his first few games, and then PFF would shred the Lions for picking him, even though they gassed him up right now. That's my point. This is why I don't respect Pro Football Focus. They would sit there and be like, they'd be like, Real is the next Tom Brady. And then the team would take him and they'd be like, we're grading them low for taking the Real because the Real is trash and they should have known it. Our Matrix said, like, wait a minute. Y'all said he was the next Tom Brady. Nope, the Matrix said he was not going to be good. And then on top of that, just within the division, Okudah on Stephon Diggs or Thielen. Who's winning that matchup? Devontae Adams and Okudah. And the Bears going to add another receiver, but I don't even think he can stop Elshon Jeffries. So it's just rough to see, just based on our division, how does Okudah come in and fix that?
Jeffrey on the Eagles.
Well, what's the other one on Robinson? My bad.
Yeah,
Robinson. Yeah, I knew I was drawing a blank, but yeah, Robinson.
I mean, Mitch Trubisky might give Okudah some pity picks.
Man, please. Listen. Okudah probably get an interception from Mitchell Trubisky, but then the rest of the league and the division will just do him dirty, man. I just don't see it. 3 is too high.
Let's hope the Bears give Trubisky a $100 million deal.
Yeah. Andrew, I know what you're about to. Whoa. We'll go ahead.
Wait, do you see that? The Jitter Review says they compared Okudah to Prime and Reeves. Y'all don't want that? Who compared them to that?
They did. A lot of people are comparing Okudah. If you look at like Bleacher Report and stuff, and a lot of people are comparing Okudah to all the greats, dude. They're just nonstop, like this guy, and it's ridiculous. The dude hasn't played a single snap in the NFL. Like, get out of here.
I mean, people are saying Chase Young is better than Ndamukong Suh.
What?
I mean,
you know what? No, I put it like this. Last year, all I kept hearing is DeAndre Baker is the best cornerback in this draft, and I kept telling everybody that it was Murphy. Byron Murphy was the best, and no, it was Baker. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's Byron Murphy. And if you go and look at it, Byron Murphy had a very good year, and Baker, you know, he had some struggles. Some games where I looked at him, i.e., a few games, i.e., get the Detroit Lions, and I'm like, Baker, man. Like I watched one tape of Baker, and I love DeAndre Baker, but I watched him against Deebo Samuel, and I thought if Deebo Samuel had a good quarterback, they'll shut him down. But to compare him to Reeves and Prime, no.
Not there yet.
You know, I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, the analysts get it wrong every time. This person's gonna be the next Champ Bailey. This person's gonna be the next LT. Look, we don't discuss this nonsense. Andrew, what do you think? Do you think that Okudah now is the Lions' draft pick at 3?
No, at 3, there's not a chance I can see them taking Okudah at 3 unless they just genuinely want to get fired. I mean, honestly, it makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. Trade back. Nobody's going to take Okudah that early. So why would you even waste that pick? I would literally just trade back and get any of a top 10 pick and freaking a 7th round pick because you'll still get Okudah later on. At least you're getting more value. Like, dude, it makes no sense. None of these teams are going to take Okudah that early because no one is that dumb to draft a cornerback that early because, like you said, no cornerback in the first round typically pans out. It's usually these random 3rd rounders, 5th rounders, undrafted free agent. Like the first rounders don't do that well if you look at it. The only one that was drafted in the first round that really has like done phenomenal throughout his entire career is Patrick Peterson. You know, but at 3, I don't see us taking him. I see us taking Chase Young if he's there, or Isaiah Simmons, or Derek Brown. I don't think we're taking a cornerback at 3. It's just going to be their preference. You know, if we trade back, I 100% can see them taking Okudah. But if we don't and we stay at 3, there's no way.
That your last statement, I 100% agree with, and I think that is actually going to happen. I think we're going to trade out of 3 and draft Okudah. Unfortunately, I truly do.
If we do that, and then we get maybe with, let's say, Miami, because that's one of the higher ones they talk about. If we get a late first round and we can get like Bradley Anae or one of those beast defensive linemen that's shown a lot of potential, I would be completely fine with it. But if we don't and we do something stupid with that other pick, I'm gonna be beyond pissed.
Okay, wait a minute. All right, Ghost, you still with us, right?
Yeah.
Darren, you still with us, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so that's 4 ears. All right, I got 2. Did I just hear you right, Real? Did you say that they're going to trade down and take Okudah?
100%.
Listen, do I want it to happen? No, but do I think it's going to happen?
No.
Yeah, I do think it's going to happen.
How far down are you talking, though? Like, how far are we talking?
I think they're gonna trade to 5 or 6 with either the Miami Dolphins or the Chargers, and they're gonna draft Okudah. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think if we stay at 3, unless Chase Young is there, I think we're still taking Okudah.
And your belief that we're taking Okudah is based on?
I think it's based on it. Yeah, it's based on Bob Quinn and the way he's drafted in the past, and the way that they've been shifting around cornerbacks this entire year, and just in general. Not gonna lie, the analysts and the mock drafts are swaying me, man. Every single mock drafts has us taking Okudah. Every single one. Besides like the ones that have us like trading Stafford and getting Tua. And that's not gonna happen.
Bill Kuiper, our general manager, then.
Wait. Okay, all right. So again, that's 6 ears. Okay, that's six. That's six. That's 3 pairs of ears. 6 total ears. Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Now
I mean,
here's what scared
it's not
me.
what we want. But
Yeah,
it's
we're
what
not
we think
saying we
they
want
will
Okuda
do.
to
I know.
to
I get it. But I'm thinking. Okay, so here's been the history in terms of the first round per Bob Quinn. It's either been SEC or Big Ten. Them has been
Big
his
Ten.
first picks. Now Okuda is Big Ten, so now I'm starting to play around with it. Okay, then it's best player available for need, and we need a DB.
I think they're happy with their linebackers because they signed Christian Jones to an extension. To all of our dismay, that extension
only gave him a minimum league. That extension gave him a minimum. League minimum contract. So the extension gave them an out. They can cut him. I'm gonna tell you the only reason why it's not going to be Okuda, and it's because it does not mesh up to the formula. So you're right. He does meet the school Big Ten. That's been it. He does meet the best player available for need, which is another aspect of it. Where it now drops off is the other part of the formula is they also have to have versatility. So when he took the tight end 8th overall, it made sense because he had versatility. He wasn't just a catcher; he was a blocker. What does Okuda have versatility-wise?
Well, okay. What does Jared Davis have? What does Taylor Decker have?
Okay, so Jared Davis has versatility. He can play all 3 linebacker positions. And when they took Taylor Decker, at first he was balling before he got hurt. But Taylor Decker has played guard and he has played tackle. So he had versatility.
He just sucks now.
He just did the injury. The injury did. No, listen. He had the same problem that Mikael LaShore had. When we got Mikael LaShore, I knew that he's going to be a good running back. But when he tore that Achilles tendon, it got real for him. And I think once Taylor Decker got hurt, he still haven't fully recovered from it. I was listening to the QB school yesterday, and he was saying that he had passed physicals knowing that he was not healthy enough to play, but for a paycheck, he was very healthy enough to play. And so, but I do not think that they are trading back for a cornerback. I just don't. I think they want the versatility. That's one. And two, I think they're going to break the mold because the trend has been Big Ten, SEC so much in the first round. I think they break the mold and get away from that this year. And I think
what makes you think that?
Well, the first thing is this. I always pay attention to who they attempted to trade for the most. They tried to trade for a few different cornerbacks. They didn't come up. They did, but they also tried to trade for a safety. They tried to get Jamal Adams. They tried to trade for a few different safeties. They made phone calls about a few other safeties who was put on the trading block, and they even made a run at the Earl Thomas. So these little things tell me that they're looking at the DB. Now I can get a DB who can play linebacker, who can run, who can tackle. And I honestly think that if for some reason he gets drafted before we get a chance to take him, they're going to take best player available for the school, which will either be Derek Brown or Chase Young. I don't see them taking a cornerback until the second round.
Man, I hope you are right, man. I hope you are right. But one thing I've learned from being a Lions fan all these years is that the pick that I want never gets picked. So I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen, man. That one is not going to happen. Well,
listen, I'm when we get a chance and we off air, I'll send you the formula for how I'm able to break this down and predict who these picks are going to be based on his pattern. I'm telling you, it's going to be Isaiah Simmons. If they can't get a deal for 3 to where they feel comfortable that they got more assets to let Simmons walk, I promise you they take Isaiah Simmons.
Okay, because I hope so.
He fits what they want. He can rush the passer. He can play linebacker. He can play safety. You essentially don't have to take him off the field because he's going to play all 3 downs.
I love Simmons, Luke. I totally agree. He was my go-to pick before the Chase Young pick has potential to actually happen.
Yeah, and I think that's what you got to look at. Now, here's where it gets shaky. If they mess around and they trade out of the top 10, let's say they get to like
13,
12 or 13. 13?
13.
Let's say to get to 13. 13, now you got to start looking at offensive tackle. You got to start looking at running back, and you got to start looking at everything.
Okay. You're getting a little crazy.
No, I'm telling you. Listen, stay with me.
Chill, Luke, no running back.
Running back at 13 is a little crazy now.
I'm going to tell you why the running back would still make sense outside of the top 10. The reason the running back position will make sense outside of the top 10 is because one of the reasons that they are having problems with Carryon is he stay hurt. And if you, with Bo Scarborough, you know you're going to have some power out of him, but he got a few injuries too. So now, if you bring in a guy who can be a every down back in New England, the New England way, they usually rotate 3 to 4 running backs.
cough, Jordan Howard. No biggie.
And you're not wrong, but I do think one of the 4 main running backs are going to be there for us in the second round.
I believe so too. I'm just saying that he says, "Look, we can get Simmons. We trade back." I agree with that, but I'm just saying that if they get outside of the top 10, they would have acquired enough picks to fill so many holes that everything is not open. But if they stay at 3 or within that top 10, I am sure of who they're going to take. Once they get to 13, everything is on the table, including running back.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the only 2 trade partners I see them going with is the Dolphins and the Colts, just because they have way more picks to offer.
I can see the Raiders. They have a lot too.
And you gotta keep in mind, it's not crazy for them to decide to make that move, because with them being able to go and coach the Senior Bowl, they know who they can get in the second and third round on the defensive line and linebacker wise to make it work. So that's another part of the formula. You just got to kind of put all the pieces together. That's all.
Yeah, no, I feel you 100%. All right, let's get this Slay stuff out of the way. We have one more topic about Slay. So Richard Sherman has made some comments recently. I'm sure you guys have heard about him.
Oh,
so he says that Darius Slay is one of the best in the game. He says Slay doesn't get enough credit, and that's once again the market he's in. And sometimes the team doesn't have a lot of success, but he's one of the quickest, most athletic cornerbacks in the game. I think over the past 5-6 years, he's had the most pass breakups and interceptions. So I'm going to start off with you, Dern, because we haven't heard from you in a little bit. What do you think of Sherman's comments? And I'll just leave it at that. What do you think of Sherman's comments?
I'm not quite sure why he has such a hard on for the Lions, but
exactly.
It's all just really annoying. If anything, I think it really helped Slay that he was here. Having such a mediocre defense for so long, it made him stand out. If he's saying Slay is as good as he really is, then it obviously helped him be on a mediocre defense, like I said, so he can stand out.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if I 100% agree with that one, because I mean, like, if you're the one guy on the team, you know, offenses can scheme around you and stuff like that. But I see where you're going with that, and I like it. Ghost Gunner, what do you think about Richard Sherman's comments about Darius Slay being the man, and that it's the market that he's in that's really playing down his abilities?
I mean, what is he going to say, man? No, man, Slay, you trash. Is he just going to come on Twitter and say that?
Good point.
That wouldn't be atypical of him.
I mean, that's like... like,
he does do that.
That'd be like Bob Quinn if he came up and said, "Yeah, man, Christian Jones good, man. I'm glad we got him."
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all in rare form. I see y'all ain't got no love.
I mean, you know how players are around the league. A lot of them are buddies, and they'll do what they got to do to try to get one guy to another team, and all this and that. Like, I think it was last year when a bunch of people on our team were trying to recruit Landon Collins, and he took a ridiculous deal with the Redskins.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I think about it in my head like, okay, Mr. Rolodex started going. Okay.
Yeah, Snacks is trying to get him to come over and all that stuff. Yeah, I bet he's regretting that deal over there, unless he really likes that money.
Well, I can tell you like this. And first of all, Richard Sherman's right. He is right that one of the reasons that Slay gets a lot of the slack is because he's on the Lions, and that's why a lot of people don't get him. But and Kedrick just put it right there. I believe that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get Darius Slay over on the 49ers. And he's trying to he and Slay have been talking. And I'm telling you, he's trying to get Slay to just be so disruptive that the Lions release him or trade him for nothing to the 49ers. That's what I think he's trying to do. Because it doesn't make sense for him to keep talking about the Lions, a team that he didn't want to come to. So why else would he come here? I do believe that he's right. The market that you win dictates what you are. All I kept hearing about Dak Prescott, even though I saw Ezekiel Elliott running that team, was how he's the next second coming of the generation of quarterbacks. Well, that's short-lived because they're not even sure if they want to bring him back. I find it funny. But I think Richard Sherman is strategically working with Slay to cause as much trouble. Like, hey, you want to get out of this deal? Keep talking. And don't be too disrespectful. Just agree with things you agree with and disagree with the things you want to disagree with. Because I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, I am 100% sure that's exactly what he's trying to do. Now, would I trade Slay to the 49ers? No. Absolutely. I sure would. Yes.
I don't know. To an NFC contender? I don't know.
Trade him to the AFC.
I would try to send his ass to Cleveland.
Nope. Because
why do you want to kill Slay so bad?
Listen, I would send him to the 49ers just because once you get there, once you get to the 49ers, that's going to be your last hurrah. And what's going to happen is this. If they're going to pay that kind of money, then let them pay it. He's going to be hurt anyway. We still walk out with a draft pick that we can live with in the second because they're gonna value him more. So what better way to get a higher pick? I already think we ain't getting no higher than a fourth, maybe a third at best. If he keep this up and the 49ers feel like he the missing link, then go that second to first we might be able to get. Yeah, you can have that. Take him. You know,
him with Stephon Gilmore together.
Well, I don't listen. They trade him to the Patriots. They gonna knowing Bill Belichick. He'd been told Matt Patricia like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you your job back when they fire you. Just send Slay over here."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Not gonna do it.
Andrew, what are your thoughts about Sherman's comments about Slay?
First off, I just want to say we got over 40 people watching. Just take a second, hit that like button, help us out.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe to our channels if you like the conversation we're having. I think Sherman needs to just shut up. I mean, the dude just lost the Super Bowl. The dude needs to sit down and just sit in his sorrows and his pity, bro. Like, you just lost a Super Bowl. Stop trying to deflect that shit onto the Lions and our drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you guys just got gassed. And why did you get gassed? Because you didn't have the conditioning. And who's trying to condition his players? Patricia. Worry about yourself in your sunny ass state and leave us alone. All right. I literally don't care what Sherman says. Just like I said earlier in the show, Slay's taking a page out of Sherman's book, Norman's book, all these guys that like to talk a lot, and he's trying to leave, but yeah, Slay has had some phenomenal games in his career. He's had some phenomenal years. But what has he done the last 2 years? Not nearly as much as he did the couple years prior to that. So if you look at it since he's came into league, yeah, he's had great numbers. And it does rival the elite cornerbacks. But I'm all about what's happening now, and you're not doing crap now. So I don't care what you have to say about what you did in the past. There's a lot of players in this league that right now that could have over $100 million contracts if we thought that way. But that's not how it is. It's a play now and let me see how you're doing now type of league. And he's not doing much. So Sherman can take his comments and Slay can go over there if he wants. I don't care, bro.
Yeah. Guys, so this, it's conflicting to me because it really makes me mad that everybody, craps on the Lions and everything. But it's understandable because we always lose. But I got to say, I like Sherman's comments. I like them. You know why? Because it's raising the value of Darius Slay. Go ahead, Sherman. Tell everybody how great Darius Slay is so that they could give us a first-round pick to rent him for a year. All right? Please keep shouting from the rooftops how great Darius Slay is, and then give us the 49ers first-round pick for him. I'd love it.
I'm with it. I'm all about being able to make it in a way where you get people to buying into it, and who better to vouch for the person that wants you there? I remember when they was campaigning, which is funny because this happens in a lot of sports where they get the campaigning. Dwayne Wade campaigned for LeBron, and LeBron was like, "Yeah, I'm going there," and then you have other people campaigning. When you have players campaigning like this, let the campaign begin, because he can't move without us trading him. And if he wants to sit out, good. But I'm with you. Keep hyping him up. Get everybody else to hype him up. They trying to get him over there in Seattle too. Wherever you want to do, as long as it results in the right cost, I'm for it. But whatever happens is he can't stay. He just can't. And the longer you wait, if we start the season off and then you try to trade him during the trade deadline, I'll be surprised if you get any value. Now, if Bob Quinn gets a first-round pick for Darius Slay, you cannot fire him. I don't care what happens in the season. You get a first-round pick for a 29-year-old cornerback on the last year of his deal, you don't fire that guy.
No.
Okay?
I mean, I think we've talked – I mean, you guys have talked about this a long time ago. The only way Bob Quinn's going to get fired, like, in this circumstance, say he trades Slay and gets a first. The only way he's not getting fired if he's not going to fire his coach.
If he's not going to fire his coach, that you know what? Let's bring that into the next topic, because listen, that is a big debate, right? Bob Quinn, his guy is Matt Patricia. He's been his guy. He had his eyes on him when he came to Detroit. He knew he wanted Matt Patricia. This was the coach of the future for the Lions. So Matt Patricia hasn't done well past 2 years. This is his third year going in. He's obviously on the hot seat, and there's been an ultimatum set. You either make the playoffs or you're out of here. So my question to you guys is, if Matt Patricia is fired, do you think Bob Quinn is fired as well? Not obviously not putting any Darius Slay hypothetical trades into account. Just based on what he's done so far, do you think he'll be fired? Let's go with you first, Andrew.
Dude, that's so hard. I don't know why, but my gut feeling tells me no, because we tend to keep our GMs a lot longer than we keep our head coaches. But at the same time, he was so adamant about bringing Patricia in. But if I had to just give you a simple answer, I don't think he'd get fired. I think Patricia would definitely get fired first before Bob Quinn.
Okay. All right. Dern, what do you think?
You know, before or when Patricia got hired, everyone kept saying Quintricia, or that Patricia and Quinn were married together pretty much. Like if one goes down, the other one does at the same time. They were like tied together. I don't believe that. Like Andrew said, that our GMs stay a lot longer than our coaches do. He also seems to hit on the later rounds in the draft, which previous GMs always whiffed on. So in my opinion, he would stay a lot longer. Or not a lot longer, but I think he'd get more time.
Yeah, no, that's a fair statement. Do you agree? Ghost Gunner, what do you think? If Matt Patricia gets fired, you think Bob Quinn is out the door as well, or do you think he's staying?
If he's not willing to fire his coach, then I think that's going to be the only way he's going to be out of here. But looking at his draft history, he has been drafting well pretty much this whole time here, other than like the long snapper. It wasn't like the 5th round long snapper or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, that debacle.
Yeah,
That was bad.
You know, we talk about Bob Quinn. You know, would you rather still have Martin Mayhew or the Matt Millen decade of misery?
Mm-hmm.
And all that.
Right.
If you don't choose Quinn, I don't know what you're doing.
You know what? Matt Millen drafted 3 wide receivers in 3 years or something like that.
First round.
I thought it was 3 wide receivers in 4 years.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong too, but don't get
Martin Mayhew drafted Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald and a bunch of other other good guys.
But listen, that was because of Jim Caldwell. There was multiple reports of a scout who came out and said that he was pounding the table. You can Google this. He was pounding the table for Aaron Donald, and he said Jim Caldwell responded to him as, "I thought we were trying to get away from those small guys. We want bigger, faster, and stronger." And the guy was like, "I don't care. He's the real deal." And Jim Caldwell was like, "No, we're going to take him. We want bigger guys." And that's why we didn't get Aaron Donald.
Man, I really wish we had Bob Quinn back then, huh?
That was the whole thing. So
yeah, Bob Quinn would have hit him with the bat if he said that about Aaron Donald. Luke, what do you think? You think Bob Quinn's out the door if Patricia's fired? Or do you think he's staying a little longer?
I think if he fires Patricia, then he stays, and I think he should stay. People can say what they want about him, but he has, two. First of all, there's two different groups. All right, there's the group that says he haven't drafted a Pro Bowler. Okay, well Kenny Galladay's one, so now you want to what you want to do? The truth is this: his drafts have been good. The talent has been put there, but I think his love affair with the Patriot way and his friends is going to do him in. But when you look at how they're structuring contracts, the trades that he has, I mean, he gave up Diggs for a fifth, but you almost forgive that if you were to realize that he got a fifth. He gave him a fifth to get snacks. And if you want to say, well, he took a long snapper. Yeah, he did take a long snapper, but go through the Lions history. When's the last time we had so many hits on late round draft picks? I mean,
exactly.
He gets a Monty Warrior in the fifth round. Where they do that at? I mean, to recognize that guy's talent and get him. He went outside the box, took Jelani Tavai. And Tavai looked like he could be a pretty solid player. So, to me, his drafts have yielded talent, especially in the later rounds. The Tracy Walkers. He's hit more than he's missed. Now the injuries can definitely claim a GM's legacy, but Ozzie Newsome once said, the mark of a good GM is to keep shooting at the best player available, and sometimes you're going to miss and sometimes you're going to hit, but you're going to hit more than you miss, and that's the mark of a good GM. And I think he's hit more than he missed. So as long as he's willing to fire Matt Patricia and do it swiftly, I think he's cool. He's good to go. But if he let Matt Patricia have a losing season and it carry out to the end of the year, they're both going.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I like the moves he's made for the most part. There has been concerning things to me, especially this year. I've made my thoughts vocal about taking a tight end at number 8. But, I mean, he's a really good player. So I'm not going to count that against Bob Quinn, even though I emphatically disagree with that. But the other thing he did was trade Quandre Diggs, which kills me. How can you do that and leave Tavon Wilson and Will Harris in at starting? I just don't understand that. Unless you had something up your sleeve, like you knew you were going to tank the rest of the year and get Isaiah Simmons. But, the one thing I always look back to is he traded half a year rental of Golden Tate for a 3rd round pick. And he got Snacks Harrison, who was on a multi-year deal, for a 5th round pick. Those trades alone tell you what a savvy and aggressive GM he is. And I love it. I love that about him. I love that he goes and does what he thinks he needs to do. I love that. He's not afraid to swing for the fences. And I love that in our GM. So I'm all about keeping Bob Quinn.
Yeah, I still can't believe we got a 3rd for Golden Tate. I mean, he was like, what, 30? How old was he when he did that? Like, seriously.
He might have been 30.
I mean, seriously, you got a 3rd for Golden Tate. And I know everybody and their mama was sick about it. I was happy because I was like, well, it gives us more opportunity for the tight end. And, they didn't do that. So shame on me for that part. But still.
He didn't want to be here anymore anyways.
But a 3rd round pick, though, for Golden Tate. Like,
and
Golden Tate.
Well, that's the thing. People say, like, oh, we could have got a compensatory pick for it. Well, not really, because we went out and spent big money in free agency, right? So it's not like we really would have gotten a compensatory pick anyway. So I love that trade. Him. Yeah, they didn't even re-sign him. They just got him for a third.
We got a 3rd pick for free.
Exactly. I love it. Well, boys, listen. We've been on for over an hour now. There's 45 people in the chat. It is that time. We are going to take your questions from the chat. So post them up. Whatever you guys want to know from us, let us know. All right.
Yeah, I already see some of the things. Like I see that Wesley says Golden Tate wasn't that bad. Now we wasn't saying that he was bad. We're saying that given his age and the fact that he was on the last year of his deal, you still got a third round pick for him.
Yeah, and
Like-
we weren't gonna pay him. The
Right.
Giants gave him the bag. We weren't gonna give him that, so we would have
Nope.
just lost him in free agency.
All right, wait, what was the question? I had to kill a spider.
No.
I just seen him. I just seen him pulling up on me. He was crawling on the floor. Oh no!
Wait a minute. The way you said it was like, wait, what's the question? I had to kill a spider. Like that spider was rolling up in some like
He
a
was
low rider
rolling.
or something.
He was
Like,
rolling.
hey,
But it's still go regardless how he played last year when he was 2018 when he was playing. He was dropping so many balls. Oh, I want to take Bob Quinn's bet and beat him for him.
Yeah.
all right. So I see the first question that popped up. I don't know if you see it. Where it
This
says,
is the
"What
first
you?"
question. Why
No, it
is
wasn't.
Dern so seductive?
I don't know,
And I'll
man.
tell you.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He looks like Gaston. You can't even mess with that.
No one
It says
does
which
quite
one-
as good as Gaston.
No, the one that says, "Would you trade Slay for Tate?" That's
Yeah,
the one.
simple.
I'll just
This is a
mess
simple
around.
one.
Yeah, I'll just mess
No.
around.
No, you wouldn't. And we're
Yeah, I
on to the
would.
next one.
I wouldn't do that one. I wouldn't either. So I think we'd be in agreement with that. Will the Giants draft Simmons?
I think they're taking offensive tackle. They need help to establish their pass protection, their run game. You know, you have the top 3 back in the entire league. You have a quarterback going into his second year. You need to help protect both of them and get things going offensively. Because it doesn't matter how good your defense is if you literally can't protect your quarterback or get anything going on the ground.
I mean, I could say the same thing about us.
Yeah, but we're a top 5 offense.
Yeah, but Stafford had a broken back.
Man, look at this. I love this kind of talk. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying we should take a tackle. I'm just saying we need offensive line help too. We got one good guy, and that's it.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, we know
I-
offensive line help, but it's definitely not our biggest concern. Because even when Stafford was playing and we're playing really well, our defense was letting us down.
We couldn't run the ball. We had one game with Stafford where we could run the ball.
We couldn't attack the quarterback. We could go back and forth all day long, man. We were giving
The more you can't run the ball, the more your defenses stay on the field.
Man, look at this conversation right here.
I'm not
It's
saying
getting
our
real.
defense was
Getting
elite.
crazy.
I'm not saying our
the
defense
more
was
you can't
elite,
pressure
'cause
the
it wasn't.
quarterback.
Yeah, but our time on the field offensively was equal to other teams. We were just getting it done in different ways. So it's not until Stafford went down. It's like once Stafford went down, then we started having problems with time management. But when Stafford was in, I mean, it was pretty equal between teams. It was just we couldn't
I think
stop anyone.
in terms of time management, I think when Stafford went down, Patricia's like, all right, how many games left? We gotta lose all these games real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, but I do agree with Andrew that the Giants are going to take an offensive tackle. You got a young quarterback. You want to improve your investment. The best way to do is to take an offensive tackle. I think the same can be said for the Washington Redskins. So I'm hoping that they do move on from Trent Williams, because if they move on from Trent Williams, then we're good on Isaiah Simmons and Chase Young and whoever else you want. That means that they're going to take a tackle.
I think it depends how Trent Williams rolls with Ron Rivera.
Yeah, I think he wants to be paid, and on top of being paid, he ain't been healthy. Like I couldn't tell you.
He had a whole year to sit out.
Right, so I'm good on that. Abdullah Terrell, I think, is next. He says, besides being from New England, what has Patricia done to show you he's the right guy? Ooh.
I know Luke likes this one. Luke likes this one. Let me answer for Luke. Nothing.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely nothing. I did not like him when we signed him. I gave him his chance. I watched him for a full season, and I wanted to puke. Then I gave him a little bit of credit because I said, well, okay, he didn't have a full offseason. Some of the subs convinced me that he didn't get a full offseason. I said, okay, he didn't get a full offseason, so I'll give you that. And yes, he's going to get a new coordinator. The coordinator definitely gave me some more hope. And guess what? The offense improved, and what got worse? The defense. And then people say, oh, it's a player problem. Well, who asked for these people? He did. So, yeah, I see nothing that lets me believe that, he's the right guy?
Well, I'll answer that. I think that the way the defense performed at the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019 is what you need to look at to understand why a lot of fans think that he might be the right guy. Because look, like it's tough to pull, because you need. What I'm trying to say is, look, Matt Patricia. What we're hoping that he can build a sustainable machine, right? Like the Patriot way. Everybody says it a million times. We want to build something that can sustain for the long term. And the coaches that don't do that are the coaches like that base, they'll go in and everything is about the players. They're a player coach. Everything's about the culture. Let's play together. We're a brotherhood. We're a family. And that usually works for like a year. They have one really competitive season and then they're done. And then they either have to like restock their entire staff and then reload again and then go again. And then, nothing happens. Teams like the Patriots. What do you mean? Why not?
No, I'm saying, yeah. I was agreeing.
Oh yeah. So I think it's the hope that we are slowly building a winner, a competitor, and it's wins like the Patriots game. It's games that we're competitive in against Green Bay this year that give fans hope. So that's what it is to me.
Yeah, I just want y'all to be clear that I do not go by hope. I go by fam, and the fam tell me abandon all hope. Pay attention to the film because you're going to find out more from it. I hope it can't be measured. I hope I get $1 million. Tell me how you measure that.
Yeah. So, no. That's 100% fair. But he is our coach right now, so I see why a lot of fans want to stick with him and want to ride with him because it's what we have right now. So what are we going to do about it? Just bitch and complain until he gets fired?
Yes. Yes. It's called rioting. It's called rioting. But yes, John Kapler, I hope I said that right. What do we double down on position wise in free agency and draft, and who do we want them names to be? I think in the draft and free agency, you're going to see a double down on the same 3 spots: defensive back, D line, and O line. Name wise, it can be anybody. All you got to do is look at who is the best man coverage corner or DBs, and you'll have your answer for that. And when it comes to the D line, who has versatility but can still be stout against the run while rushing the passer? That'll give you your group for that. And for the offensive line, it's about whoever can play more than just his position. You can't just be a guard and play guard. You need to be able to play guard, tackle, center, and so forth and so on.
You couldn't have said it any better, Luke, honestly.
Yeah.
Patricia's all about, being versatile, and that's pretty much what you summed up.
Yep.
Isaiah Simmons just happens to be the most versatile player in the draft.
Yeah. I saw a question about what are the odds we get Chase Young at 5, and
no.
I love to have hope, but there is a 0% chance that
he's not making it that way.
He's an elite edge rusher coming out of college. If it was any other draft and Burrow wasn't here, he probably would go number 1. So I don't see it happening. Someone will trade up for him or something. He's not going to 5. That's for sure.
Yeah. Darren. Yeah. How do you feel about Mel Kiper's 2.0 mock draft that has us taking Tua at the 3rd pick?
Oh, I love it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's just another smokescreen that just gives our pick more value. So who really wants to give more than the next team to get up to this spot?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And plus, when has Mel Kiper been right? Like, I feel like when Mel Kiper become right, like the world would stop, war would end, hunger would end, homelessness would end. Like Mel Kiper got it right, people. Mel Kiper, the only thing he ever gets right is his hair, and that's even questionable. I'm just saying nobody is buying into the 2.0 mock draft. I think the year that we took the tight end, he had us taking Ed Oliver.
Montez Sweat, I think, was on.
Montez Sweat. It was one of the, see. And I ain't got my punch button to get a punch for that name. But yeah, he had us taking. I'm like, we're not taking that guy. We're taking the tight end. And I'm not even paid to do this. If they paid me to do what he do and be wrong, I would be the best wrong person. I would just make the most random. I'd be like, first of all, the Lions are drafting ammo in the first round. The second round is Big Bird. There's nobody better at getting deep passes at the tight end position than Big Bird. Third round, we're going Cookie Monster because he's a monster and he loves cookies. And they're going to pay me. And I think it makes sense. So I just feel like Mel Kiper is crazy for it, in my opinion.
100%.
He had Greedy Williams before that one, too.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started on Greedy Williams. Oh, my God.
Next.
All right. Dad Boy says, what Detroit Lions free agents we bringing back? All right, Gunner, shoot.
Well, we better not bring back Graham Glasgow. I want him out the door.
I feel he's coming back.
Oh, he better not.
Wait. Why do you think he's coming back, Luke? You got some insiders?
Just if you look at the position depth right now, we don't have it, and he can play literally center and guard. He's got the versatility, and he's going to be cheap, so he'll be back.
I mean,
why didn't we offer him an extension at all then?
Because the way that Bob Quinn does the extensions for his players is he goes for most important first, and then he works his way down to like the levels. So if for some reason he can't get an extension done with, say, like Kenny Galladay, he'll be like, okay, so he's not going to play ball. Or maybe Danny Amendola, he wants to bring him back, but Danny Amendola wants a little bit more money. He may go, okay, bump it. We're going to pay Graham. Even if Graham tests the free agency market, we got a good chance to still get him at the price that we want. He knows how to play the market, so he does not overpay. So I don't see a situation where he's going. So I think, unfortunately, he'll be back.
I think that's going to be a big focus on their free agency is like a Joe Thuney and Brandon Sheriff. Those are the two biggest guys. But just because he can play those positions doesn't. I mean, I could play center. It doesn't mean I'm gonna do it well.
I'm picking up what you putting down, but as a good backup, he will be a good backup. Personally, for me,
but he's not going to be a backup though. He's going to be a starter, and that's the issue. We weren't running the ball with him last year. I
don't know why. I thought that he was pretty dang good. I mean, like he was all right at center, and then moved him to guard. Yeah, he took a step back, but he's had some good games. Like I don't think he's that terrible, guys. Like dang.
In terms of ball, I think
I can tell you this much for Data Boy. If you're asking me who they're bringing back off of our free agents, Bo Scarborough is going to probably be more than likely one of them.
He'll be cheap.
Another
Danny
one will
Amendola.
be another one. Nope, I think Danny Amendola's on that bubble. I think the reason
we have Marvin Hall,
and that's why because of Marvin Hall.
Yeah.
So
Marvin
37 yards a catch. Like, get out of here.
Another person you're going to have to pay attention to is Isaac Nata and Logan Thomas. Those two are steadfast in the fight for that last tight end position spot, and it's going to be about who can give them the production but still cost the least amount. And last but certainly not least, on people that I think they're going to bring back, and I'm not sure if they should, it's going to probably be Rashawn Melvin. I think he started out pretty good early on, and then down the stretch, time killed him. So I can see those guys coming back.
Got you. Okay. Hey, Blue and Silver said, would you guys trade up for Chase Young? Andrew, I know what you think about this, so I want you to say it.
Dude, honestly, the more information that comes out, the harder it is to answer these questions because I feel like my opinion keeps changing, because of new developments. First off, I gotta say I'm probably gonna leave after this question. Got things to do, but I would not trade up because of how much hype is going on about Tua, and if he comes back healthy and he participates in the combine, I don't see a need to trade up for Chase Young, and we have too many holes to fill. Let alone, I love Simmons at 3 if Chase Young goes at 2, so I would not trade up.
Okay. Right. Why don't you say your piece and head out if you gotta go, bro?
Yeah, for sure. First off, I thought we had a lot of great topics. I love when you guys are commenting in the feed. You know, I look at all of that stuff while we're talking, and I take that into consideration. You know, just take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know, we love to have you guys here, and the more you guys help us out, the more we can, be more popular on YouTube. You know, the more people we have participating in our chats. So appreciate it. Love y'all. Go Blue.
What?
Go blue.
Nah,
You
bro.
mean go right? Go blue.
All right, I'm changing it up, dog.
Okay, so there we go.
We don't have any good sayings, bro. Like
It's go green.
It's not the same.
No, let's go Buckeyes. Come on.
Shut up.
Oh,
Buckeyes.
we got a Buckeyes fan in here.
No.
Ugh.
All right. A lot of NFL teams, NBA teams, they got their sayings. You know, you got who dat and all this. Like, dude, the Lions have nothing. All right, so I had to say something.
I'm with you. Hana, go blue and silver. Say that. Blue and silver.
Blue and
Complete
silver,
the sentence.
baby.
All right.
Defend the den, bro. That was my saying. We'll go with that. Defend the den.
All right. We
There you
appreciate
go.
that.
There you
You
go.
scared me with the Michigan one. Okay, just a little bit. Okay.
All right. Yo,
All right,
peace out,
man.
y'all.
You too, man.
Have
Be
a good
safe,
Sparty sucked too.
man.
Man, I just got back from throwing up because Ohio State's disgusting.
I
I knew there was a
Hey,
smell.
hey, at
I
least
knew
we
there
were
was a
competing
smell
for
in it.
Hey, at least we were competing for a championship. What y'all doing over there?
Oh wow!
Got him.
Wow. Well, I mean, listen, we'll be competing too if we was cheating half the time. I mean,
Yeah.
got
come
him.
on now. Come on.
I
man.
mean,
We ain't cheat. We don't gotta cheat.
You went from Tresco to Urban Meyer, two known cheaters. Okay,
Nah, we didn't have to cheat.
you right. If you're not cheating, you ain't trying. So I mean, I guess y'all was trying. You know,
Not succeeding, but you could try. It's okay.
right? It's not gonna
All
kill
right,
anybody.
All right, John Kapler. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. Can we get Chase Young at 5? Oh, we discussed this. This was Andrews.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Negatory.
I think he could fall to 5, but I think that if the Giants see an opportunity to move up, they'll call up Detroit and they'll take it depending on what it is.
So many things have to happen for him to fall to 5.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit too much. What's happening to the Lions organization if Martha Ford passes suddenly? What? Not wishing anything, just wondering what would gentlemen think. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. He said, I was like, wait a minute, is he trying to say he want her dead? Like,
Yeah.
Nah, I think isn't their oldest daughter still involved with the actual team?
Yes,
Sheila?
and yeah, she's still involved with the team, and they also have like a chairman group of people who was to oversee the team to support the daughter so that the team stays in the family. So what will end up happening more than likely is they will go to the NFL, ask for further assistance. The daughter would be the owner, and she would basically get out the way and let people do their jobs. That's what I think will happen.
Yeah, the only other option, I think the only way they'd sell the team if she somehow gets pressured to do it.
Yeah, selling the team, and I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Every time I hear the word selling the team,
I hate that too. I hate it too.
Yeah, I cringe because y'all don't realize. I mean, who would have ever thought the Oakland Raiders would now be the Las Vegas Raiders?
You want them to sell, they'll take it out.
You know, so there was the Cleveland Browns who then disappeared and became the Baltimore Ravens, and then they like got another franchise back in.
That's what would happen to us. That's what would happen exactly.
Yep. So I don't want to do the sell the team. Sorry.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos would buy us, move us to New England or to the UK or something like that. Something ridiculous.
Yep.
And then we would end up getting a new franchise. Yeah. No, that's 100% what would happen.
It'll be like the 7th Los Angeles team.
Right. I'm so over it. I want to keep our team here, and I'm with that. It's our team. Let's not be foolish about it.
Yeah.
Let's take like what, 2 more questions?
Okay, sure. Yeah, we could do that. So, all right, this is going to go to you, the Dern, because we've talked about this trade too many times. So, would you draft Tua and trade Stafford for the 5th overall pick and another first?
Okay. First of all, the only way I'm trading Stafford is if the other team takes his cap hit, like I think the Browns did with Osweiler a couple of years ago. But the odds of that happening are really slim. So there's literally no point in trading him because of the cap hit. And I'm not drafting.
Let me make it a little
either.
sweeter. I'm sorry to interrupt, but let me make it
No,
a little sweeter because reports came out this week that prior reports about there being $32 million in dead money if we trade Stafford, apparently those are wrong. So apparently now, because of a restructure that happened over the past offseason, it would only be $24.8 million in dead money if we were to trade Stafford. Does that change it for you at all?
What's only 28.4 million or 24.8? That's it's still a shit ton of cash to be taken for one person. That is
right.
no only.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still not drafting Tua either way. You need to play the first year that you get drafted in the first round, and Tua's a glass cannon in my opinion. If we draft a quarterback, it would probably have to be Herbert. And I like him, but I'm still not sold on him either.
Yeah, neither am I.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the word quarterback unless it's a new GM or
Absolutely.
a new head coach. And I think at one point I was saying if we end up in the top 5, we have to take a quarterback. But then I got quickly reminded that if things happen the way I see they happen, we're going to be picking high again anyway. And the way we're trending, we went from top 17 or 20 pick all the way down to
8th and 3rd.
8 to now 3. I mean, what's next? 1. And if that happens, then I don't care who they take at quarterback. Right. I don't care who they take at quarterback. But right now, I do not want to see them trading for. And plus, I don't see a reason for us to trade Stafford at 5 because I think Miami wants Tua. And so you would get more value allowing them to take Tua at 3 to get that 5th pick and keeping it. Everybody don't understand that if you trade Stafford, who grooms Tua?
Blah.
Yeah, David Blah, man. Come on.
I'm just saying we talk about Patrick Mahomes all the time, but he got to just sit and learn the game without being thrust in there behind who? Alex Smith. So let's let our new quarterback have that same opportunity.
All right. I just had it. Okay, here we go. This is a really good question. If we end up trading back with the Dolphins, who, in your guys' opinion, and we're going to go around to everybody because I want to answer this as well, who would you guys take with the 2 first-round picks? So it'd either be the 5th overall and the 26th overall or the 5th and the 18th. Either way, who are your guys' picks? Let's start with you, Luke.
Yeah, this is easy for me. 5th pick is going to be Isaiah Simmons. If he's not there, then it now becomes and I know people are not going to like this, but I'm going to say it needs to be Gilmore from Oklahoma.
Oh, man. Dude, he's a fucking monster. My bad.
Yes. Yeah. So to me, at 5, I'm taking Gilmore. I think Gilmore reminds me a lot of Aaron Donald. And the way he handles over Derek Brown. Derek Brown to me reminds me of Quentin Williams. And the biggest problem I have with Quentin Williams is the same problem I have with Derek Brown. They get on the ground a little bit too much for me. That irritates me sometimes. But with Gilmore,
only good run blockers or run defenders,
right? And with Gilmore, he could play those different, DN and D tackle. But he's stout, man. And if we had the 26th pick, I'm now going to take Kenneth Murray, Oklahoma. So I'm going to bring a whole Oklahoma connection here.
Bring the whole Oklahoma team over.
Yeah. Now, if it's 5th and 18, and he's there, Isaiah Simmons would be it. But if Isaiah Simmons is gone, again, I've already said Gilmore. So now we got 18 at 18, and I do believe he will still be there. If he's not, I will be totally shocked. I would do something that people would not be comfortable with, but I think it makes the most sense. And I would just literally say, take at 18. I would then probably take. God, he got to be there. I would really take J.K. Dobbins. I would take him because to me, I think J.K. Dobbins' ability would far exceed anything that we're going to get out of Carolina at this point or Bo Scarborough. One cut, vision, downhill, can catch up the backfield, needs prayer with the block. But hey, if all I got to teach you is the block and you got everything else, I'm taking that.
Yeah,
All
I mean,
right,
he made
all
Justin
right.
Fields look good.
Who you picking, Gunner? Which Ohio State people are you picking?
None of them. Listen, just because I like Ohio State don't mean I like the team or the players.
Nah, I'm just messing with you, bro.
No, Isaiah Simmons is my fifth overall pick. But again, was it Gallimore from Oklahoma? I was watching his film today. He eats up the double teams. He beats double teams. He forces the running back to change direction because he eats up the gap. Maybe not a 5 of Gallimore, but because I think he'll be there later. I think we could probably get him with the 18th or even the 26th, just because of how many.
And look, I see all people. Look, I got risky. He says Gallimore. What's it, Gallimore or Gilmore? I always botch people's names. Y'all know this about me. But he says at 5, are you high right now? No, I'm not. You got to keep in mind what I said. I said if Isaiah Simmons is not there at 5, and I got to take a D tackle or a D lineman, I'm taking him over Derek Brown. That's what I said. See, that's why I got to repeat myself because people think I'm crazy. But no, I'm taking him 100% because you cannot put that kind of stock into it. I don't care if the idea of, oh, you take this player here or you can't take them there. If they come in and perform and do what you need them to do, who cares? Nobody's going to ever criticize a team for getting it right.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. All right, Dern, who's your picks?
All right, so it really depends on who falls to who. I really like Isaiah Simmons. So if he's there, can we say a Javon Kinlaw fall to 18?
Oh yeah.
If he falls to 18, I'm running to the podium there.
Now we're talking.
Right, but I don't think he's going to last that long. So I really like a guy named Mekhi Becton. He's a tackle. He's a Giant. I know Giants don't usually trans well to the NFL if they're that tall, because I think he's like 6'8", 6'9", something like that. But that dude's a bulldozer from Louisville. He's my favorite tackle in this class. So if he's there, I want to take him because I think he's instant. He's better than Rick Wagner.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think tackle is out of the question either.
Yeah, you gotta look at that guy. I don't know him too much. If it was me, so my dream picks, I'm going. So we're all getting Simmons at 5 apparently, but
Yes.
I'm gonna stick with the Dern and I'm taking Javon Kinlaw. If this man falls there, that would be amazing. And then with our second round pick, I know this is cheating because the question didn't ask this, but I'm getting Bradley Anae from Utah after what he did in the Senior Bowl with Matt Patricia. Oh, that is my guy. With those 3 picks, you have transformed the entire defense. I love it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm picking up what y'all picking down. I'm picking up. That's why I got all these field studies coming. I have all those names on there. I'm going to show you what I do. I'm even doing something I didn't do last year. I'm going to give you a little bit of NFL comparisons. Because when I say I really think Gallimore, whatever his name is, however you pronounce it, Gallimore, whatever, reminds me of Aaron Donald, I'm going to show it. I'm going to show. I like Kinlaw. Don't you get me wrong. I like Kinlaw. I just think that some people better suited for what we're going to do. It's a little bit better.
I think Gallimore is better than Kinlaw.
I do.
That's where I disagree.
Well, I got to see film then, man. I got to hear about this guy. I haven't even heard about this guy before today. Let's go. All right.
Plays for Oklahoma, number 90.
Okay. All right. I can't wait to watch some film from Luke G's channel.
So Blue and Silver asked if we like Josh. Is it Uche or Uch?
Is that the Michigan dude?
Yeah, he's Michigan dude.
I
I watched him film. I watched him film on him when he played Iowa. I want the right tackle who was blocking him.
Oh, you talking about Worf?
I don't know who it was, but he was
Trish, the same one who shut Montez Sweat down as a rookie.
He was pancaking everybody. Whoever the right tackle was in Iowa, he was pancaking Josh.
It's like Tristan Worf. Josh, I think Josh would be good if he's there in the 3rd. I wouldn't take him any higher. He still got some work to do with his pass rush moves, and for some reason, I've noticed that he has a tendency to get too handsy with people. Sometimes it's best to get hands on them, get them off of you, and get them by. And I think that will fix a lot of the problems. But right now, that's not what we're not going to get that type of love. So no. What do you guys think of K. Levon Chesson?
Chason.
Who's that? LSU?
LSU.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't watched him.
I did a fifth of him already too. So I'm trying to keep. Listen, I got a lot of names, people. I'm trying to keep some of the stuff for the video, but I can tell you this much: do he fit what we do here? Yes. Where would I take him? Now that's the question, because my confidence level in what I've seen on film is not as high as, like, I noticed, like, if don't let the running back be shifty, or don't let him be like in a position where you're asking him to run a stunt. It does not seem like it happens as fast as I would like it to. But based on some of the stuff I've seen on film, yes, he fits what we do here. So, yes.
So if we had the 26th pick, would any of you guys be would you not like a wide receiver? Like a T. Higgins or something like that?
No.
I would not.
Nope. I feel like receiver. Yeah, but I feel like receiver come dime a dozen. Every year we realize that a receiver or two or three emerges that people didn't think was going to be it. Like, seriously, like all the hype was on Hollywood, but Deebo Samuel really showed out and showed up. DK Metcalf started out slow, was still inconsistent, but I still think Deebo Samuel and the guy that the Washington Redskins picked up, I can't remember, McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin.
So I think those two guys showed their abilities, and then you just start to look around. So for me, no, receiver right now is not it. I know that we got to get some people signed, but I would rather go into next year looking for a receiver and run with our receiving core this year than to try to force a receiver in who's not going to be nothing more than a slot receiver.
As far as I remember, I think it was Marvin Hall was probably out on his career was on a downslope before he came here.
Yeah, but Marvin Hall is one of them guys where, when you get the right person throwing the ball to you and you just tell them run straight, that helps.
Right.
So it definitely helps. But it's up to you now, man. This your show. You run it. What you want to do? You want to end it right here?
Yeah, guys, it's about that time. We've been on for over an hour and 40 minutes. It's been a great show. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, the Dern, and thank you, Ghost Gunner. Let's start with you, Dern. What are your final words of the day, and kick it off.
I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. I hope I can come on again at some point. Hopefully,
man, absolutely. Hit me up and you back.
Yeah. You're not.
You tell me when and where I'm there.
Okay, for sure. Well, I'll let you know. We get you back on. Trust me.
Sweet. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I watched you guys. I subscribed to both of you. Yeah, it was a great time. I love doing this stuff.
Hey, appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely. Ghost Gunner, we appreciate you coming on as well. What are your last words?
Man, let's just hope and pray for a good year.
All right, preach it.
Regardless of what happened, even though I may not be a big Patricia fan, I want him to show me that he can win in this league, and with us, I want anybody to be the guy to get us a winning team.
Yeah. Luke, I'm gonna let you go last so you could finish off on your amazing words that you always do. But I'm just gonna say thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody that watched today, everybody that came from Luke and MicroMike's channel, because I know they posted and told you guys to come over here. Listen, man, we appreciate it. We appreciate being part of the DSA, being adopted by that amazing group. And listen, we're the real Detroit Lions fans. Why don't you hit that subscribe button? Why don't you hit that notification bell? Because we are going to be hosting sometimes as well. So, Luke, I appreciate you letting us host this week, and hopefully going forward we can host multiple times, and hopefully me and Andrew will get a little bit better at this as well. But, Luke, take it away with your final words.
Hey, as always, man, listen, it was so much fun to have everybody come here. This community gets bigger and bigger and better and better. And whether y'all know it or not, there's power in what we're doing. I remember that Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia said that they listen to everything that is related to the Lions. That includes YouTubers. So y'all show up in force. Y'all come up with these questions, ask the hard questions, get us to answer the hard questions, push it forward so we can put it out there. Because what we want, the fans, is what they're going to do. Now, as always, I like to end everything on a good note because I believe that life is too short to take things so serious, and there's more important things in life. So here's my good word of the day. Many of us have always said what we're going to do. We say, oh, we're going to do this, and we put it off, and we're going to do that, and we put it off. But just take a second and think at all the things you're putting off as time goes by. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to save money. I'm going to build for a new house or whatever the case may be. Remember the one thing that matters the most: discipline. If you find discipline in everything that you do, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how challenging it gets, that discipline will get you further than anything else in this life can ever get you. Be disciplined in your diet. Be disciplined in the way that you treat each other. Be disciplined in the way that you support a team or not support a team. Be disciplined in your convictions about your thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and make sure that you realize that it is that moment that you are truly at your best, because discipline is one of the best ways to be at your best. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe to the Real Detroit Lions Fans. Make sure that you hit those notification bells because they will be hosting shows. And make sure, and I do mean make sure, that you subscribe to all the members of the DSA. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.
My God, I'm glad I didn't have to follow up on that.
That's why I had him go last. You know now,
right.
You know why.
I appreciate that.
All right. We're out. Love you guys. One pride.
One pride.
Later, guys.